This is Will Nunziata, New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film. And today I am absolutely thrilled to be speaking with the acclaimed author, the one and only LETYSHA Montgomery. Hello, LETYSHA, how are you?
I'm great, how are you doing?
Doing so much better now that we're finally speaking, LETYSHA. And this is what I love so much about this app. You are in Kansas City, I am in New York City, and here we are connected. And here we are getting to speak about you and all of the incredible, inspiring, and empowering books that you have out there. I want to know first and foremost, before we not only get into some of your work that you have, worked on and have released in the years before, but your most recent book, Boss Babes, Exposing the Lie of the Enemy. We'll get to all of that, but I want to know first and foremost, when did you realize, LETYSHA, was it as a little girl that you loved writing so much?
Honestly, it was probably in the beginning of the pandemic. I was it's actually an assignment from God to become an author, honestly, to share my story. I have endometriosis, and it affects 1 in 10 women. And I was given the assignment to share my story with more women through being an author. Didn't know how this was going to come to pass, but that was the vision that I was given. I've been blessed to be in 5 collaborative books, with another collaborative book coming, as well as writing my own. So I've been busy and took my assignment seriously, and spent most of 2021 writing. And it's just been an amazing ride.
It's amazing.
But I've always been a lifetime reader, so I love books. So there you go.
Well, look at my husband is a big bibliophile. We have books all over the place. So I understand what it is to live with someone who loves reading, but also you being an amazing writer. I mean, spreading your light. I mean, what's so inspiring too, LETYSHA, about you and your journey is that you were able to take something that might inhibit a lot of people, but you used it as an opportunity to move through any sort of darkness to spread that light and inspiration. Is it from God and your spirituality that you gain that strength?
It is, and you are right. It is something that can be devastating. It's something that I really honestly did not talk to people much about before the whole ordeal. I mean, I opened up more about my journey, honestly, after I had my surgery. Started my surgery in August of 2019. That's when I first became a speaker. It's when I started my podcast, became a writer the following year. So I really did not share my story till after. Having endometriosis, even though it's so common, like I said, it affects 1 in 10 women, it's also lonely. There are not many people who understand what you're going through, because we don't share it. Like, no one shares they have endometriosis. I found out more people have endometriosis from sharing my story because they feel comfortable opening up. So like all these people, even people I know personally, have endometriosis that I never knew, that shared it because I've shared something on my page or said something to me about it.
That must be
so it's a very lonely group. And so yes, it's something that can be lonely. It can be it's very frustrating. It can be draining, just all of those emotions.
Well, what I love also so much about what you've been able to do, and you being vulnerable and courageous enough to share your story, is that you're providing a safe space for others to feel like you're giving them permission to be able to speak about their struggles as well, so they don't feel as alone.
Right. Well, that's very important, having someone to talk to, not having it all bottled up.
Absolutely. Well, listen, let's also talk about your newest book, Boss Babes Who Pray, Volume 3, Exposing the Lie of the Enemy. And by the way, I want to remind our audience, the links below will bring you to that book and all of her books that you can order for yourself. Talk to me how that idea came to you for the new book.
Actually, it's a collaborative book. So it's a funny story. Actually, I was connected with the author through an award I received last year. I received an award that one of my fellow co-authors in this book, I met her on Facebook before she nominated me for an award. And so I went to Houston, Texas to get the award, and it was given by this amazing author. And I said, I have to be in your books. I love what you're doing. I love your platform. So now I'm in this book. It's an amazing book. It talks about exposing the lie of the enemy. And I talk about the lie that I exposed was that the enemy did not want me to share my voice. Honestly, I felt like having endometriosis and different things, that there were different things you can and can't do and that your voice is silenced. And that's obviously a lie because my voice is not silenced. I have done all of these amazing things, being a speaker, author, podcast, all of this. My podcast continues to grow, is listened to in over 60 different countries all over the world. So my voice is not being silenced, and I'm speaking up about it, and that's my mission, honestly, is to educate and bring awareness about endometriosis. And that's what I'm doing in several different platforms in various ways. So that was part of what am I exposing the lie is.
It's amazing. LETYSHA, before we get going, I just want to leave the audience with some thoughts that I'm feeling. I'm thinking about all the young LETYSHAs out there who may feel, whether they have, endometriosis or whether they have something within them that maybe at one point or another feel shame about. But the fact that they have a North Star like you, someone who is able to step into their power through the habitual mindset of courage and confidence and leaning into vulnerability, that there's power, that there's a superpower in that. You're incredible. You really are. I'm very moved by you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. That's an amazing compliment. I appreciate that. And that's really why I do it. I do it to help other women. It's not, I don't feel like it's necessarily going to help me at this point, but my goal is to help other women. Get the message out there, know what endometriosis is, and not have to go what I went through. It took me 14 years to get a diagnosis. That's 14 years from when I first heard the word endometriosis, not 14 years from when I had my first symptom. So we need a cure. We need to get a better way to diagnose. We can only be diagnosed by having a surgical procedure. We need a better way. We need a cure. And that's what my mission is, to get the word out and try to help with that.
Amazing. Well, LETYSHA Montgomery, it is so nice to meet you. I'm so excited you're on board this amazing new platform, FENIX360. We have so many incredible authors on the platform. So I can't wait for you to also meet them and connect with them. But also, I'm so grateful that we are now connected.
Thank you. I'm enjoying connected with you too. And I can't wait to meet all the other amazing people on the app.